everybody, and thanks for joining me today. I am in Cricut Design Space. I'm designing a cat-themed birthday card. I looked through all my stash of papers, paper pads, scraps. I couldn't find anything with cat paws. So I went ahead and created the paper myself. Now, I finished all this, and I thought this might be a good idea to do a video on this because for me, Cricut Design Space, the things that you can do on this software it's endless, and I'm not sure if anybody's actually done anything like this before, so I thought I'd share. Let's take this step by step. I want to go ahead and create the brown layer first, so I'm going to come over here, and my idea was to make it the size of an A2 size card. We'll put it together in the craft mat after we're done here. So I'm going to click on square, and I'm going to size this to be the size of an A2 size card, which is 5.5 in the width because it's where I'm doing landscape style, and in the height it's 4.25. Then I want to change the color, so I'm going to come up here to the line type, and there's that black square. I'm going to click on that, and you can turn that brown. Now I want to create the gold part of this card. So there's two ways you can do this. You can click on the image, you can right click, and you can click duplicate, or you can come over, you can click on the image, you can come over to your right margin and just click the duplicate, and now you've got two. Now I want to resize it and change it to the gold color. Now these are both same size, so I'm just going to go with this top one. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go with this color here. All right, and I got to make it a little smaller because I want it to go on top of the brown and have the brown sort of create a border. So let's go over here to the size. It's still unlocked, and I'm going to make this 5.25 by 4.0. And then I can just put that right on top. Okay, we need to put that in the front. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to send it to the front. Took a second there. Let's try that again. Send to the front. Nice. All right, I'm going to pull this up a little bit because we're starting to get off the canvas, aren't we? All right, so that's how it's going to be, like so. Now the cat paws. I went into images and I searched. I'm on the canvas page of Cricut Design Space. Case. Cat paws. And I scrolled down here. Now I'm going to take a minute that I just discovered something the other day. I've been using Cricut Design Space for ever since it started. But these little boxes over here to the right let you put more images on. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but I wanted to share that with you. So I chose this image right here. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the mat. And I just resized them 0.25, 0.50. And I colored it. So I'm on the image. I clicked on the image, and I chose brown for some of them. I chose blue for some of them, and black, and then I used like a goldish yellow. So you can basically change it, you know, any color you want, and then you can size it. So you can size it by coming up to the size part and do 0.25, or you can get into the image by highlighting it and just pulling it and deciding what shape you want it there. Now, because I'm going to have another layer on top here, I'm using the most adorable penny black stamp set with cats. Because I'm going to have another layer on top of that, I only framed it. And then after I was done with this, I thought, oh my God, that would be a really cute frame. So I just kind of put that over here like that. So that's going to be where it is. And I'm using some Copic markers as well. So let's go ahead and create the little saying I have here. I'm going to go into text, and I'm going to show you this because I don't know if anybody showed you guys this before. So I did have a, and oops, I am all in caps. Actually, I am on the wrong font, so I'm going to go back to Alien. That's the one I chose for this one. And it's going to say have a, and then I'm going to stop there. Actually, I got to spell it right. All right, now I can stop. And I'm going to pull this up so you guys can see it. And then I'm going to create another word that says Purrfect. And I'm going to use a different font here. So let's go here. And then I believe I chose the algebra. That's why it was on that. Yep. All right. So that's going to go that. And then I'm going to go back to my text and type in birthday. But I'm going to change it back to the alien font. This is just going to highlight the word perfect. That's my plan. So here I have this layer that's going to be drawn on and cut, and it's 4.5 by 3.25. So how the heck do you fit all these things on there, right? I'm waiting for, okay, there we go. A couple of ways I did it, but there's a couple ways to do it. This is how I did it. I just basically used my arrow like that. And then this one here, I can do it off the paper. I don't have to do it, you know, on it. And then move it over. And then we have to fit the word birthday in here. So let's just resize it a little bit here and bring it over. All right, so let's click on that word perfect. Make a little bit of an adjustment there because it was up too high. All right, so not to make this video too long, I'm not going to create the From All of Us again, but I am going to put it right down here. And that's the alien font as well. So when I stamp the cat stamp, it's going to be right there in the middle. All right, couple things you need to do now. When you put your paw prints on here, like you can move them around, you know, so they go at different angles. Once you get your paw prints put on here, I'm just going to put that right there like that. You're going to want to put it all together because I'm doing a print and cut on this. So I'm going to highlight everything and I'm going to come down to the bottom right and I'm going to click on flatten. All right, let's go to the make it and I'm going to highlight that and just come over here and put that to sleep. I call it putting to sleep because it's like closing the eye, right? Close your eyes, go to sleep. We can do that here as well. Just close all of that out because I want to go to the mat and show you exactly what's going on here. Okay. Make it. This is what's going to happen. I put 65-pound weight paper in my printer and it's going to print this out. Now, if I wouldn't have attached it, it would have created a second mat with the paw prints, or maybe if I didn't attach the brown layer, there would have been a separate piece of paper with the brown layer. So that's what I was trying to help you guys out with. All right, so I think we are ready to cut and print this. And you know what? There was something that I wanted to show you. Let me open this all back up. When I was creating this, the writing, and also the, where's my little square? There it is. I realized that you have to attach this as well, but I'll get to that in a second. I realized that I had one of these words was on cut. So I guess you could do that. You could do cut and it would cut out very, very thin, but you want to make sure everything's on draw. That's the point I'm trying to make. All right. And then I'm going to put this down here. Now I do want this to, I'm just kind of readjust here to print. I don't want it to print and cut. I want it to draw the words. So I'm going to go right like that. And I'm going to move that up just a little bit more. Actually, it'd be easier if I move the square down. There we go. And then I'll move this down. It'll be easier to move that down too. All right, now for here, I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to come over and say attach. Now, if I clicked on flatten, it's going to want to print it out. We don't want to print it out because we want it to cut and draw. let's go back to the mats. We already saw that. And now we're going to go to this. Now I have Copic paper that I want to use on this. So on the mat, I'm going to take my Copic paper and I'm going to put it right exactly up in this corner. I'm going to be doing 2 cards, or there's going to be 2 of them. Let's go ahead and click 2 and apply, or you can hit your enter button. That doesn't, it's okay. So you see how that's going to print out twice. And then for this one, I physically want this to go all the way over here because it's going to be easier for me and for the Cricut Design Space to print and cut this without it getting out of alignment. So, okay, I'll stop now and we'll go put the card together. All right, so we're at the craft mat, and I wanted to intentionally show you when I was talking about the Cricut and lining everything up. It's because my Copic paper is already pre-cut, and I think that by putting the this one like right next to it, that I wouldn't be able to line it up properly. So yeah, this is actually it. It's copicmarker.com where that came from. So let's get this off the mat, get our card created. This is one of those long videos, but from here I think it's going to go by pretty fast. And I didn't end up printing out the one layer that we created with just the one paw. So I'm just going to use this one here. I just printed out the one that had the frame. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp on this. Let me show you the stamp set. Got it right here. This is it. Now it's so cute. Look at it. It's got little hedgehogs and a little mouse. And this little guy on the bicycle. Just love it. Okay, I haven't used it. This is my first time I've used it, and I've had it for a really long time. All right, so I'm going to put this in. I think I'm going to just line it up against here. And just bring this down and make sure that that's in a pretty good spot. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit more. I think I went too far. I feel like I'm covering up the "from all of us" words. So I don't want to do that. Okay, that will be good. Something I've never done before. I know I've watched Christina Warner do no line stamping, I think she calls it. So I did try this out already because I didn't want to screw it up on the video, but I'm using the Walnut Stain Distress Oxide. And I'm going to use it to and it works great with the Copic markers, by the way. I kind of lost my thought process there, but I wanted to make sure that the Copic markers were going to work with it. This little guy's in the way. All right, let's see how that turned out. Look at that. It's perfect. I love it. It's perfect. Get it? I didn't mean to do that, actually. All right, let's color this. All right, so we have a gold kitty, I'm going to call it, like a gold tabby. And I'm going to start out with Y15. And the gold kitty is going to be in the middle. And so I did a gold cat and I did a gray cat. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to have a black cat in here. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it just wouldn't look right. You wouldn't be able to see the little, you know, stamp part of it. So I had to actually look it up. There is brown cats out there. So if you've never seen a brown cat, you can check it out, because I just found out that there is. So we're going to make one of these cats brown. All right, so I'm just going to flick here like that. And then I'm going to I'm going to color his little paws, I should say, with that darker. Great. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to try to blend it in. Now we go for the gray one. We have a C3 and we have an N3. And I'm going to go with the C3 first. And that's your gray kitty. My C1 Copic marker, it dried out. Actually, I think I used it so much that it didn't have any more ink in it. So I'll have to fix that. This one looks like it's doing the same thing. I hear it squeaking. All right, I'm gonna curl its tail. And I'm gonna come in with the N3. I'll make the tail a little bit darker, and I'm going to color the foot in that color, and his little foot here, and his little hand. And then I'm going to flick a couple things here and there. Apparently I can't color and talk at the same time. Okay, so that's good for him. Now, they both have these little teeny tiny noses, so I did the R22. I don't think you're going to be able to really see it. I'll go ahead and color his nose in while I got it. Okay, so he's going to be the brown one. So I'm going to start out with an E25, I think. Let me see if I can find a scrap. Yeah, I'll pull that out of my trash can. That's really dark. Let me see what E15 looks like. Oh, I like that reddish color. Okay, I'm going to go with that. All right, so we're going to color him. Oh, before I do this, you're not going to be able to see his eyes. So I'm not going to try to draw it. I'm just going to take my Sharpie and just push down and try to get his eyes to be a little bit thicker. Looks like my Sharpie dried up. There we go. And then I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that I don't screw up the mouth, because I'm going to highlight his mouth. Or not highlight, but redraw. All right. You'll see in a minute why that's necessary. Okay, let's go ahead and color him in. Yeah, I like this no line. I don't know if this is considered no line, but I remember learning that from Christina. Color his hand. His little ears. And then I'm going to go over his face. Now, don't go over his nose like I just did. There we go. And then I'm going to bring this one in. Again, that's the E25. And I'll make his feet a different color. And little flicks here and there. Puts him on his tail. Not 100% happy with his face. Didn't think the Sharpie was going to do that. All right, so they all have little paw prints, or pads, paw pads. So I'm using my black 100. And just coloring those in. I'm just pushing down on my Copic. I'm not trying to draw it. And then his little hand here. And then we've got to do his hats. All right, so one of them's going to be red. I think red and gray will look good together. And I'm kind of go up into this area here. And then I'm going to take my, that's an R17, and go ahead and color in those red things there. And then I forgot to do the flowers here, so I'm just going to kind of dot, dot, dot there. And then color this blue. I'm trying to color around the red circles. And then bring some color up into the little tassel. And then his hat's going to be gold, like this one, but more the yellow.